Oh, Megan, it is June the 2nd. It is Wednesday. We started the show talking about the 100-year anniversary of the Tulsa massacre and President Biden's acknowledgement of it, the first president who's actually spoken of it in history. And, you know, there's not a lot you can say about that. If you went to your contrarian nature, wouldn't have been considered racist. So you manage that minefield quite well just by agreeing with everyone. And Sunny is 100% correct that this is a very clear instance where reparations are actually appropriate. I am also not one to immediately run to reparations as a salve to the atrocities that the people of this country have committed upon its own citizens or the people that were here before us. But I think we've terribly treated the Native American population in this country and still owe them more than what we've given by a long shot. And this is a clear indication, or this is a clear instance where the country needs to do better by those people who were, and the ancestors of those people who were massacred. And nothing was ever done to prosecute those perpetrators or to to compensate the losses. So that was, you were good to be quick and contrite on that one. We then moved on to the topic of, this is clearly your pitch for a hot topic. The global head of diversity for Google, who had written a blog post about Israeli conflict and how that in the blog post said, if he were a Jew, he'd be questioning why we're continuing a cycle of violence, really. You got first topic or first answer, because this is something you've been hammering for a while, because you just don't understand the difference between someone who is anti-Israeli politics or pro-Palestinian, and how either of those positions can't possibly be also anti-Semitic. And you conflate the issue entirely. You get all riled up about it, and you're 100% incorrect. This country that you love so much, has put its nose in and killed hundreds of thousands of innocent people around the globe. And there are citizens around the world that hate Americans because of it. Because they hate Americans for the actions of their government. That's not what this is. They hate America. Death to America. This is talking about the Israeli government and the conflict with Palestine. And I'm with Sunny. I'm no expert on this. I don't know. All I see is Hamas. Well, the Israelis torturing the Palestinians, Hamas retaliating against the Israelis saying, hey, we're victims, we're going to retaliate again. And it's just a constant back and forth. The Israeli government has some answers to how they treat the Palestinian people, because that in itself is I think the crux of the problem. I could be really wrong. I don't know. I am not an expert in this. But you take this completely in a one direction manner. That is, if you say anything against Israel, or if you say anything in support of Palestine, you're anti-Semitic and you hate Jews. And that is not the same fucking thing. And, you know, did Google know that he had written this post? Maybe they did. I don't think that, you know, again, Sonny Hostin has already trolled you on this issue live on the air in the past, but was the perfect foil to your tirade, is that you cannot conflate those two things. You just, I get that you, and you've tried to bring up, you know, anti-Semitic hate crimes that have been happening, that are on the rise. And I don't know if you've noticed, but so is anti-Asian, so is anti-Muslim. I'm not saying that, you know, it's nothing to scoff at. It's not something that we should be paying attention to, because we should be paying attention to all of those things. But your tirade about saying that that somehow anti-Semitism is allowed in the country when others are not is incorrect, because saying Israel is wrong is not anti-Semitic. Saying the Palestinians deserve to live is not anti-Semitic. You're a dum-dum. So luckily, there was Sonny to hold you back. Then what did we talk about? We talked to, oh, God bless America, Busy Phillips. What a treasure she is. I don't know if you noticed, Megan, but in her show, and I can't remember the name of it, the 5 something, which is in itself just a pun. And who, like, what a great choice to in a Tina Fey vehicle to have Busy Phillips. I don't know if you noticed, but in the clips and the trailers for this show that Busy Phillips is on, and she plays a, you know, a woman, and it was used to be in a pop group, and they're trying to make a comeback and, you know, use their own voice for in a way that they couldn't when they were younger. She has all these ridiculous hairdos, and they're meant to be ridiculous. They're all a joke, and they're all the hairdos that well, all of them are also hairdos that you have had over the past few months on the show. And it's I don't think it's a direct cut at you. It's a direct cut at this whole attempt at, you know, trying to be I don't know, hair interesting. Anyway, I don't remember the question you asked her anymore. I'm sure it wasn't relevant, but you did talk to Chris Matthews, and the only thing that you had to say to him was, "I remember when you went on a talking tour with my dad, and how much that meant to me." It's a constant fishing for, can someone talk to me about my dad? And you look so smug and self-satisfied when somebody tells you about how much they liked your dad. It doesn't mean they like you. You talk, people talk about how your dad reached across the aisle. Where are you coming from a place of, I would like to have any kind of dialogue or reconciliation with a Democrat? All you do is complain and rail against Democrats and say, we as Republicans want X. There is no unity coming from you. You complain about, Joe Biden not, bringing the country together, and it's because the Republican Party won't budge. They don't want anything to change in the country except for them to have more power and to turn it into a fascist state. And it's becoming so incredibly blatant, and yet you continue to defend it. The Republican Party is not the party your father was in. And by the time your father died, the Republican Party wasn't the party he was in either. So give up the whole notion that there's any honor in the GOP, because there isn't. And you are right in the thick of it, spreading lies. Your husband's ridiculous conspiracies and talking points and bullshit. And, like this with fucker Tarleson. So, and today was a day you got to be full on because you got your choice of hot topics on which you are 100% incorrect in your assumption for your anger. Is it good to be mad at anti-Semitic violence? 100%. Yes. We should be mad at violence against anyone. But the source of your anger, the core at what you're trying to pull off, is just, as you like to say, intellectually dishonest.